That was awesome. I wish that could be the soundtrack to my life, and yet I don't think I'm worthy. Wow. Okay, you guys, it's time to get some bad poetry started in here. We have 4 people competing to be the best worst poet tonight. Each of them are actually good poets, but tonight they are good poets gone bad. For all of our amusement. To give us some more info and basically introduce them, let's welcome up Spokane Poet Laureate Tom Carraway.
It's a great thing about being Poet Laureate I've discovered. I don't really have to read poetry anymore. I just kind of host things. It's fantastic, actually. I know I turned it around because it looks so pretentious, right? Like, I'm the poetry guy. So we did bad poetry at the last Anthology, and I read some poems in order to kind of condition the crowd for what to expect when it comes to bad poetry and try to see what the concept was. There's just really like blurry faces. I can't see any of you. I can see Kat and Kara in the front row because I know them, but it's really weird. The book that I read from was called B is for Bad Poetry, and there's a whole book that this woman wrote of truly awful poems that are purposefully so it's okay to laugh at them. And I was going to read from them again, and then as I was trying to select poems to condition you to the level of awesome badness that you're about to experience, I realized that our competitors are actually better than the published bad poetry. And so, right, like Spokane is so good at everything literary that even our bad poetry is better than everyone else's bad poetry. Right? Like that's something. That's good.
We're the literary bad poetry world.
That's right. Spokane leaving their skid marks everywhere. So instead, I'm going to read the poem that I referenced kind of drunkenly last year, but couldn't really quote any lines from except for the end. So I had a little bit of forethought and was drinking water earlier. So this is a poem called Young Man with a Ham by James Tate. And this has one of the hallmarks of truly bad poetry, is that at the end of the poem, you're not sure if it was good or bad. Like, you get to the end and you're like, yeah, that was just, I feel weird about myself. So this is the benchmark we're looking for. Young Man with a Ham by James Tate. I'm watching him from my window. He's clutching the ham as if it were a football everyone wants to steal. He keeps looking over his shoulder and stopping to make sure the ham is secure in his grip. No one's on the street but him. But wait, old Mr. Wilson, who lives down the street from me, has suddenly appeared in his fedora and suspenders and is jogging as best he can after the young man. I go out onto the porch to watch. The young man has not seen Mr. Wilson. Then, in the last minute, he spots him and starts to run. To my great amazement, Mr. Wilson dives through the air and tackles him. They wrestle and grunt. Mr. Wilson wrenches the ham free, gets away, and starts racing down the street with the ham. Clearly, it's his ham now. So, that's in my pocket. I've got some titles, and our poets are going to come draw titles. By way of introduction, I'm going to call their names. And then they're going to come draw both a title and tell you what the title is, and a Trivial Pursuit card. The Trivial Pursuit card will serve the following function. From the answer side, they will have to include 3 of the 6 listed answers. So if, for instance, I was going, I would draw my title and then this card, and I would have to use 3 of the following phrases in my bad poem. Big Ben, Basic Instinct. I mean, the sentences start to write themselves, right? Dow and Jones, 6. Sumo wrestling, and California. So I would have to include 3 of those 6 answers in my bad poem. To properly motivate our, I feel like a kind of crazy person, to motivate our bad poets, I would like to show off our prizes. We have a pink eraser. It's slightly used. There's some gunk on it. There's a parrot. It's made out of real feathers. I mean, you don't think that you get good prizes if you win at bad poetry, right? This actually hurts me to give away. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how this ended up in my possession. It's the 1860 to 1960 Republican Party cookbook. I'm not even kidding. I mean, and it's 1860, and so they still claim Abraham Lincoln as a Republican. It's got Nixon, right? Because it goes Lincoln Nixon in the nothing. And then a prize pack of Mr. T and Me chapter books. This is a real thing. Like, there's a whole series of these, and so the gift package includes I'm so what? I wish that I could keep up with our competitors tonight, because I would compete for these. I would want to compete for these, I know. The hand-me-down cap, and you got to look at the art. I mean, the kid is like kicking this hat down the road like, this hat sucks. And Mr. T's like, and then he's on the back like this. And then there's the best bike ever. These things just end up in my house. I don't even try to find these things. They just show up. The eraser I did have to dig around for. Okay, so would our 4 competitors please come to the stage? Catherine Smith, Jeffrey Dodd, Ethan Walcott, and Jonathan Potter. Now, in the world of cutthroat bad poetry competition, these are the fiercest competitors I could have assembled. And now they've seen the prizes, so they know what's at stake. That guy. These are previous champions, except for Jonathan, of bad poetry in its original incarnation, which is in my living room or in my driveway. And Ethan actually is the 2-time defending champion of bad poetry, and has a traveling trophy that he takes around with him everywhere. Catherine Smith was last year's runner-up at Anthology Bad Poetry with the poem entitled Sasquatch Radio. Jeffrey Dodd was the grand champion of last year's Anthology Bad Poetry, and is still, I think, a little mad at me about the prize that he won. It couldn't have entered your house at any point, right? No, there are rules in the Dodd house. Our 4th competitor is a newcomer to bad poetry, Jonathan Potter, who is excellent and well known to many of us.
I write bad poetry in the shower every morning.
That really spoils the story I was going to tell about Jonathan, which involves a poem he wrote that is kind of about me. So they're going to draw titles now, and I don't want them to be subjected to my hat, so I'm just going to have them pick it out of my hand. So, yeah, pick a title. And now your card. From anywhere. They're so excited right now. Here are the titles that they didn't draw. I will eat this almond. Oh. And this is actually my favorite.
Can I
Do you want to trade for the mystery?
Yeah. They're saying no.
Oh.
I don't want to break the rules.
That's true.
Okay.
The second title that was undrawn is I Love You More Than Ham. This is really pretty, wow, that would have been great for you. All right. I'm vegetarian, it's not weird.
They went there right off.
Yeah, seriously, what the hell? Okay, so we could use probably two things from you all. I have two judges already determined. The wonderful Joseph Hager in the back there. And I can't really see anything else, but I know that somewhere in this room is the excellent poet Ellen Welker. I need one more judge. My mom.
My mom.
Okay,
Poor mom.
some moms are going to have to fight.
Oh, this is good. I like where this is.
No? I don't think. Should we take nominations? Is that what we're doing? Okay. I hear someone named Linda has been nominated. And someone named Karen. Any other volunteers? Should we have an arm wrestling? Karen and Linda, could you come to the stage? Now the proposal is to arm wrestle. I don't think we should do that.
I'm weak.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
She'll take me. That's not
Rocks,
fair.
paper, scissors, 2 out of 3. And here's the
Yeah, I like
1, 2, 3, like that.
Okay.
Right? Not 1, 2, 3, shoot. Like 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, and then no.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, do it.
No.
Three.
On 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, do it.
Whatever you're on 3 is it. Okay?
Alright.
2 out of 3.
So, one, two,
That wasn't fair.
They're going to be good.
Okay. Okay, wait, we have to start.
Okay. Do you want to count? We'll give you a count. Okay.
You gotta count.
Are you ready?
Can they both be judges?
Yes, we should both be judges.
We now have 4 judges. Joe, Ellen, Karen, and Linda. Excellent. Could the judges confer with Joe at the counter back there? And you guys can just, the judges will now just confer and make up whatever criteria for assessment they want.
Right.
Okay? Sure. No?
Money.
Yep.
Bribes work.
Okay.
Can I get a different
Card?
card?
No.
Can I get a different card? It sucks.
These are great.
Really?
Kevin McHale?
Okay.
If you can't work with Kevin McHale, my friend. Jeff would kill for Kevin McHale. Okay, Catherine,
Yes.
your title is?
I was a teenaged Khaleesi. I don't know.
Someone will tell you, I think. Jeffrey.
Wooden spoons are for lovers.
Ethan.
The third time I survived the apocalypse.
And Jonathan.
This fish is undercooked.
They have their work cut out for them, but I think they could probably use a few more words, maybe 2 more words
I didn't need my pen.
that the audience could supply for us. And if you can't remember the word, then, you know. So can we get a couple words from you all? Intravenous. Kumquat. I heard kumquat. Intravenous and kumquat, they don't have to be in order. Just 2? Yeah. Just 2? Yeah, so now you got 5 plus the title. Okay, our competitors will now compose poetry throughout the rest of the show and then compete at the end.